So, have you ever been in the Hebra region and found many secrets? That's what happens to everyone if they play through this area. Hebra is the most unexplored area in Breath of the Wild. While you might have gone through the entire place checking your map, there's one problem. You haven't considered the hot springs? Yeah. You thought that only Death Mountain and other very hot places had these, but you were wrong. While I know a lot of people know about this hot spring, when I just first found it, I was questionable. I swam through it a bit, and then I noticed something. What is a hot spring doing in the middle of a huge ice region? Well, there's actually an answer to that I will tell you later on, which is pretty obvious since this is a theory video. But let's just think about Hebra. While it's been known to have many secrets, there's one thing I'll be going over. At a stable near to Botw, there is an area where 3 theorists talk about the Leviathans as a long side quest to take pictures of all 3 Leviathans. But if you actually end up going to all 3, they all look kind of different. And they're all in different areas. So does that mean that all 3 different theories by all 3 different theorists are correct? There's one about the Ice Age, and one Leviathan in the Ice Age. So by Ice Age, they mean the Ice Age that happened in real life. But here's something big I thought of. If all 3 theories could be right to their areas, would it be true that Hebra used to be a place like Death Mountain so that they can have hot springs? Well, that's kind of true, and then it's not true. Because if we think about it, a lot of the inhabitants of Hebra is the rhinoceros, the moose, mountain doe, but don't we see those in other places? Well, barely the rhinoceros, but then again, does it have any features that keep it in snow? Not really. So does that mean Hebra could have been like Death Mountain? Actually, very much no. Because these animals have no volcanic features, I doubt that a bunch of rhinoceros just lived happily in a lava pool and then learned how to be in the snow. So Hebra was never a Death Mountain-like place. That wouldn't even make sense with the geology since there are too many places related to snow in Hebra, meaning that these places wouldn't have been created from maybe 10,000 years ago if it used to be Death Mountain. With that out of the way, I want to talk about the hot spring itself. It's just like the ones in Death Mountain. So how is it in Hebra if it's not Death Mountain related? Well, there's 2 ways you can take this. There's either the idea that this hot spring is related to the goddesses, maybe it's a treasure of Hebra, or that there's a reason it's here, a deeper reason. And as a theorist, it's better to go with the deeper reason. This deeper reason is actually not that deep if you really think about it. If it's not Death Mountain, if it doesn't have to do with the animals or a blessed of the goddesses, then what is it? The answer is not really an answer, actually. It's more of a maybe. There's the maybe. This maybe is that there's a volcano in the Hebra region, not too far-fetched, that's making the hot spring. I mean, that's for every hot spring, right? But maybe this volcano doesn't have to be so large. Maybe it's just a small one. But how did it get there? While this is probably an odd question for a hot spring, in the Hebra region, it's not too far-fetched. Because if you think about it, imagine this one area made of ice, Hebra, and think of another area made of lava, Death Mountain. What do they have in common? Well, of course, not their geography, but then again, let me go into what Hebra's geology can key into for this mystery. While it's obvious that this place is filled with snow and ice and mountains, there's one thing that people would never want other people to know. This place has secrets. When I mean secrets, I mean huge secrets. Like this whole hot spring, like shrines, like enemy camps that'll probably kill you in a second. This place's geography is questionable, but then again, if you think of all places' geography, there's something about it that people don't want. And while this place is great for hunting, it's not good for camping because there's so many monsters. Even since the Great Calamity, people have been so scared of monsters, it's obvious that they would rather hide than go here. Even in the notes of Selmy, the Duchess of Downhill, she clearly states that this mountain will kill you. She knows about it and the few other people that wrote in that journal. But I can agree with any other person in Breath of the Wild that monsters are everywhere in this world. Since this mountain will kill you, people wouldn't have come here to camp, to hunt, to nothing. So this hot spring is even more of a secret. But does that help our mystery? The geology of this place is what made this hot spring be a hot spring? This hot spring is still around because of the geology. We got to the point of people not wanting to come here, but we also got to the point of it being a secret. While the secret is known by a lot of players, what about the NPCs? They don't know about this, making it more of a mystery since there's a dock here? Yeah, check out the first part of this clip. You see a dock. And while it seems old, it's still there. People used to know what this place was. So if people used to know about this secret, why did they ever leave? Well, that's because of the Great Calamity. When it struck, it caused so much fear and destruction. And it also caused the Blood Moon, which created more monsters. But that's not the only reason everyone left. It's also clear in one of the memories you can get in Breath of the Wild, when Zelda says that the monsters are everywhere now and getting stronger. So did Hebra become too much of a dangerous place for people? Yeah, so that's why the hot spring is abandoned. So finally, our answer is that this hot spring used to be around for many people, and the reason it's still around is because people tended to it. They kept rocks out, kept snow out, they hoped it. Until the Great Calamity and they all started running away. I would have stayed at the hot spring though, built a lodge, well, I don't know. I thank everybody that helped me, and goodbye. Remember to like and subscribe for more content.